good interception. When you're on a yellow card, you've really got to tread oh so carefully. And it will be his last act of the day. He's off. Well, what? A goal! Well, it's the late show. That's eyes for goal. Oh, tremendous goal! Thank you. Chase. Cross-fired over. And there it is! On the cusp of the final whistle, and they're making home advantage count, but only just. And there is the goal! And a goal! Really getting stuck in. Now with Ortiz. And the attack looks promising. This could square the game.
Yo, what is going on, everyone? This is Lesky, back with another pro player build for FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. Today I have for y'all an Erling Haaland striker build, and it's perfect timing because the past few days or so it was confirmed that Haaland has transferred to Manchester City from Borussia Dortmund. So it's going to be pretty cool for Manchester City. They've been missing out on a actual number 9 striker. Like, they have Gabriel Jesus, but ever since Sergio Aguero left, they haven't really had that focal point up top as a striker, and they've been kind of running like a false 9 for the most part. So now they actually have Erling Haaland, which is a huge signing for them. So I thought I'd get this video out for y'all, and also a few of you guys have requested a Haaland build. Like, I made one in FIFA 21, I believe. It was actually very good, but this year in FIFA 22, taller builds are even better because we have more pace to start out with. So let's take a look at the height and weight that we have for this Haaland build. Alright guys, so for the height on this build, I chose to go for 6'4". That's what he's listed at this year on FIFA, so I wanted to be accurate when it came to the height. And then the weight, I went for 119. That's the lowest weight section you can go, and you can go to 99 pounds, but it just looks a little bit more realistic at 119 pounds. And I believe what I looked up, he's around 200 pounds, but if we go that high up in weight, it just doesn't match his body type that he has in game. He has a unique body type, so it's going to be kind of hard to match a unique body type, but it's more on the lean side, skinny side is what I would say. So anywhere between 119 and then you could possibly go 149 would be the max I would go for. But when you do that, you lose a little bit more pace. So also going for the lowest weight section just gives us the max pace possible for a 6'4" striker. So that's another reason why I did that. He also has his unique running style in the game this year. I always use the same running style for all my builds. I use the Buzz. That's just preference, really. But some of y'all might know better when it comes to the running styles, like which one would actually look best for matching Haaland's unique running style that he has in game this year. I'm not too sure. And then for the preferred foot, he is lefty, so that's why I'm listed as left-footed. On to the perk page now. For the first perk, I went for physical strength. Looking at all of his cards on Ultimate Team this year, that's one of his highest attributes that he has in game is his strength. So putting the physical strength on will boost our strength up more than what we have on the skill tree. We have the bull archetype, so we're trying to max out the strength for a 6'4", 119-pound striker. So the physical strength is a must for this Haaland build. And I believe he has like 90+ strength on all of his cards that I looked at. And then it'll also increase the jumping and the ball control while jostling, shielding, or heading the ball. His jumping isn't very high on all of his cards, so that's not too big of a problem anyways, but it'll just boost it and help us out in that category as well. On to the second perk, which is one-time shot. And we actually have a 3-star weak foot on this build. On his base card, he has 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot. And the one-time shot will just be helpful, or when you have a one-time volley or just a one-time shot with your weak foot, it'll upgrade the weak foot 1-star level to basically a 4-star weak foot since we have a 3-star on this build. And that can be very helpful for finishing off your chances. And then it'll just increase your finishing ability during one-time shots or headers, grant the finesse shot, flare, outside foot shot, and the power header trait. I don't believe he has any of those traits, but they're pretty helpful especially that power header trait for a taller build. It'll help you make a lot more of your headers on goal, and it'll make it harder for the keepers to save them. And then for the third perk, I went for active first touch. What the active first touch will do that I really like, it'll boost your acceleration and sprint speed when running onto a through ball. And even when you get a ball played to your feet and you try and dribble out of that or sprint, it'll boost the acceleration and sprint speed for a short time. It'll grant us the flare trait, so we can do fancy like one-time passes and flicks, which is nice. And it'll also increase our ball control like the physical strength perk does. And I just think this is a very good perk, and all three of these perks combined work very well with a taller striker build like this one. And to be honest, I really wouldn't suggest another perk to use and switch out for one of these perks. Maybe distant shooter if you like taking distance shots. I think we have decent long shots, actually pretty good long shots on the shooting page already, but that is like, I think, one of his lowest attributes that he has in the shooting category for like all of his cards. So I don't think it's really necessary. I do think these are the best options for this build. Let's take a look at the skill tree now. For the physical page, we went for the bull archetype. As I said, Erling Haaland has like 90 plus strength on all of his cards in Ultimate Team. So with the base strength that we have as a 6'4", 119-pound striker, it's really not that much. It's 69 strength. But when we get all this stuff right here, it gives us +3 stamina, +13 strength, and +5 aggression to get us up to 82 strength, which isn't in the 90s. But remember, we have the physical strength perk that'll boost up our strength even more, so it'll probably actually be in the 90s and maybe 92. I don't know. I like to think that it gives +10 attributes. I'm not too sure. I'm really just guessing. It could be +5. It could be +15. We really don't know. They don't give us any information on that. And then to the right, we get this reactions right here. Because as a taller striker, you actually lose reactions compared to a shorter one. So we want to bump those reactions back up. And for 3 skill points, we get +5 reactions to get us to 89. On his base 88 rated gold card, he has 88 reactions. And then on the top right, we're getting more stamina right here. And this is just more reactions, +4 for 2 skill points to get us to that 89 mark. And yeah, Haaland's lowest rated card this year in Ultimate Team, which is that base gold card, it has 93 strength. So this is the max we can get when it comes to strength. And I think if you like went up to the other weight section, like 149, you would only get like +1 strength. It would bump up to 83. So we're really relying on the physical strength perk to boost up the strength even more. And we really can't do anything else about it. This is the max you can get for a striker of this body type. Let's take a look at the dribbling page. So as you might have noticed in the clips for this build, I was using 5-star skills. I'm a huge fan of using 5-star skills. I don't even like rocking 4-star that much when it comes to being a striker. I like skilling, and they're just so overpowered. I know Haaland only has 3-star skills on FIFA, but I just really like using 5-star skills. I just do not enjoy my time on FIFA if I'm not rocking the 5-star skills, especially when I'm playing striker. But right now I have it what I would have if I was using 4-star skills. So I'm going to show you guys this. And then honestly, you don't even have to use the 4-star skills if you don't want to use skills at all. You can just rock with the 3-star. Like if you're not going to use any 4 or 5-star skills, there's no point of having it. It's a wasted skill point. You could take off this skill move right here and then probably just add it on to ball control right here and maybe balance or possibly pace. Or actually, since we have a 3-star weak foot, you could even add it on to the weak foot for a 4-star weak foot. That might actually be the best bet. Just sub out the skill moves for the weak foot. They're the exact same amount of skill points, and then you'll be good to go. But I'm going to keep it at the 4-star skills, and then I'll show you guys what I was using with the 5-star skills towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that if you want to use 5-star skills on this build. So what you're going to do is just get this balance, dribbling, get the 4-star skills, and then on the right side, all we're really doing here is just going for that Lynx archetype to make the build feel better when it comes to dribbling, quicker, just turning, swiveling around so you can get a shot off. It'll just make this build feel better when it comes to all things dribbling. And looking at his cards on Ultimate Team, his lowest rated one, he only has 75 agility and 72 balance. He has +3 agility compared to balance. But I really wanted to get that extra agility just to make this build feel better. But if we look at like his 90 rated card, his rule breaker card that he received, he has 81 agility, 80 balance. And then his next highest rated card, the 92, it's 90 agility, 88 balance. They really boosted his agility and balance there, so it's not really realistic. But again, having that extra agility, especially for a taller striker, will make you feel a lot less clunky and more usable, to be honest. And then it'll be better for skill moves too. Like when I was using 5-star skills with this high agility, 87 is pretty high for a 6'4" striker. It's actually very nice when it comes to dribbling. So that's what I like. If you want, you could take it off if you want to be more realistic and just go for the low agility and balance. You could do something like this and then use the 7 skill points like on maybe more on ball control. I don't know what else you would really do. Possibly a little bit more on pace. I think we have a little bit off on pace, or maybe shooting. I'm not too sure where you'd put that. So that's kind of why I just wanted to go for this Lynx archetype, because you might as well. And it'll make the build feel way better, because this is like, agility is one of the most meta stats possible, as well as balance when it comes to FIFA. So that's why I have that. Let's take a look at the passing page. And as I do for the majority of my striker builds on my channel, I don't put anything on the passing page, which is fine for this Haaland build because that's his lowest category that he has on his cards. Like his 88 rated card, he has 65 passing. So our base stats are pretty much better for the most part. He has 71 vision. We have 76. He has 47 crossing. We have 70. He has 77 short pass. He has 75. So that's the one thing that he's beating us on. And then he has 51 long pass, and we have 56. With his 77 curve, we have 76. One less curve. So honestly, the passing stats are very accurate with the base stats that we have, or that we are given in pro clubs. So nothing really else to talk about here. On to the shooting page. And this is where the build starts looking really nice. We're trying to match his stats that he has on his base gold card and ultimate team as much as possible. He has a ton of shot power. So what we did is we tried to go for the max shot power possible for a 6'4", 119 pound striker. So what you're going to do is just get this +3 shot power and +5 free kick actually for 3 skill points. And then for some upgrades and penalties and +3 shot power again for 3 skill points, we're going to get this. And then what we're going to do on this right side, we're not going to get the 4-star weak foot. We're just going to go down to the long shots and shot power right here, and then get the finisher archetype. And then you're going to go up to the top, get this finishing right here, and then this finishing and volleys to get us to 94 finishing, which is what he has exactly on that gold card. He has 94, and then 86 volleys. He has 88 volleys, so we're 2 less when it comes to the volleys. He has 94 shot power, but this is the max we can get for a striker of this body type. And then he has 87 long shots, so we actually have more long shots than him. You could possibly go for this right here. For 3 skill points, you get +3 finishing and +3 volleys to get those volleys up more, and then get the finishing up more. But remember, we do have the one-time shot perk, which on one-time shots, you will get an increase in finishing, so that's kind of nice. And most of your volleys you're probably going to take, not all of them, but majority of them will be one-time shots. So like if you wanted to take that Lynx archetype off and then spread those skill points around somewhere else, you could put it like on the finishing of volleys, try and get the weak foot. Like I said, if you want to take the 4-star skills off, you can go for the weak foot, or maybe you can go for the finishing of volleys, and then possibly just put those skill points somewhere else, maybe on pace, passing. Not too sure where you put those extra skill points. But looking at these stats, as I already mentioned, they are very accurate to what Haaland has, and it actually is one of the best shooting builds I've used. Just look at the stats: 94 finishing, 90 shot power, 92 long shots, 86 volleys. With the one-time shot perk on this build, you can finish a lot of your chances. And when I was using this build, I didn't even have this much shot power because I wanted to put the 5-star skills on. I had to sacrifice some shot power, which is what I'm about to show you guys very shortly once we wrap up this pace page. So basically what you're going to go for here is get everything except for this bottom left acceleration, +3 acceleration for 3 skill points. Haaland has way more sprint speed than acceleration. He's got a big split. Like on his base gold card, he has 94 sprint speed and 82 acceleration. So that's 12 attribute difference. We're not going to be able to make it that much of a difference unless we take like all this off, but then still we don't have as much sprint speed as he has, and we'd have a little bit more acceleration. But acceleration is very important, but I still tried to maintain that split as much as I possibly can. So I put it at 88 acceleration and 91 sprint speed. If you don't really want to be that accurate, I know acceleration is a little bit more popular, or at least in my opinion, I think it's better for a striker build. You could also just go 91 acceleration, 89 sprint speed, rather than getting this +2 sprint speed for 3 skill points. You could do that. It's just not going to be as accurate to what Haaland actually is in game. So that's why I have it like this, even though the +3 acceleration might be better, to be honest. And this is the pace page I have. As I mentioned, he has 82 acceleration, 94 sprint speed on his base card. We have more acceleration than that, a little bit less sprint speed. Remember, we do have the active first touch perk though, which will increase our acceleration and sprint speed in certain situations, so keep that in mind. And yeah, this is the pace page. Now I'm going to show you guys what I was using with the 5-star skills. So let's go back to the dribbling page, take a look at this, and what we're going to go for is try and get this 5-star skills. So you're going to have to sacrifice something else on the build. You're going to have to take off this shot power right here. This is what I did, and just settle for the 87 shot power, take off the penalties and the +3 shot power right here, and then go back to the pace page and take off some pace. We're going to take off this +2 sprint speed for 3 skill points, and you'll still have 88 acceleration, 89 sprint speed, which really isn't bad at all. And then we're going to go back to the dribbling page, get the 5-star skills right here, and then you'll have 1 skill point to put somewhere else, and you'll have to just put it pretty much on the short pass or the ball control, which is what I did. I got the +2 ball control for 1 skill point to get us up to 86 ball control, and it is kind of low, but I've used a lot of builds that have low ball control like this, and it's really not a problem. And also I had those active first touch and the physical strength perk on, which upgrades the ball control. So it's actually higher than what you're seeing right here. So it's really not a problem, but that's what you're going to have to do if you want the 5-star skills. I'm going to put it back to the 4-star, or yeah, the 4-star. And remember, you can, if you just only want the 3-star, you can take those off and then try and go for that weak foot, or maybe upgrading the pace more, or like some balance. I don't know what else you could really do. Go for that finishing of volleys, like I said. But I'm going to put it back to the 4-star skills and then add that extra shot power back to get it to that 90 shot power and then get that extra pace. So that will wrap it up for this Erling Haaland striker build. I love using taller striker builds, and this one was no exception. I loved using this build. It is a beast with the strength, the height. You can actually win a lot of headers and score a lot of headers with this build, with the one-time shot perk on and the power header trait that it gives you. The 3-star weak foot is like the one downside, I would say, but I really didn't have a problem with it. Most of my shots landed on my left foot, and then if I did have a one-time shot that landed on my weak foot, it upgraded to a 4-star, and it was actually a pretty good shot because of the high shooting that we have on this build. Like, look at that. On the left right here, the shooting bar is at 90 with all that stuff we have on, so that's pretty nice. That's going to wrap it up. Let me know if you give this build a try, how you like it. Love to hear that in the comments. Hit that like button on this video for me, and then hit that subscribe button on my channel if you haven't already subbed. Thank you guys for watching. You all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.